Ladies and gentlemen of the world, welcome to the YamatoCannon rundown. We're going to break down Worlds Play-ins Day number 5, where Loud took on GAM and CFO took on BDS. We are going to follow up tomorrow with some BO5 action. Thank you very much, Dynamic Damage, for the tier 1. We're going to follow up tomorrow with some fantastic BO5 action at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. action. BDS got the upper hand on CFO today. I thought it could be close, but let's start off with Loud versus GAM. Loud versus GAM, it was quite disappointing because GAM won this series in a similar way to how they beat R7. They kind of walked in. They kind of walked it in. We can start with the draft conversation. So it's like a draft conversation. I really don't like when they're putting Croc on mechanical champs. I think Croc is a terrible player. Sorry to say it as harsh as I am, but this is the truth. I don't like him on mechanical champs. I think it just doesn't make sense. I think that Seos and, of course, Root are the key players for Loud, and I was worried about their solo laners coming into this matchup generally in terms of lane phase for Ari here and Aatrox. This composition, I think that Nocturne is a little bit out of place. Nocturne is fine into Lee Sin, but playing Nocturne into Xayah and a blind pick Ari that you know is going to happen is definitely like a troll. I think if this was like on a higher level, I think that picking Lissandra here probably would have been better. But you pick Victor because you assume that someone's going to run it down. You know, it's like you pick the scaling champs, you pick them in play-ins, and you're going to have success. That's just life sometimes. The level of play in the elimination matches in play-ins is probably some of the worst I've ever seen in play-ins. I'm not gonna lie. So that has been quite crazy. But nevertheless, you have red side, Rakan, Kai'Sa, weaker early, Lee Sin, Ari, very good against Victor, Nautilus, Xayah, really good into Kai'Sa, Rakan in terms of lane phase, should have full control. Lee Sin will be able to invade Nocturne on demand because of Ari, Nautilus, Xayah, and so forth. Levi is a player that has had terrible early games at this tournament, but let's jump into the game. So the majority of the early game was just, just this gameplay pattern of invading the bottom side. Lee Sin was just using his tempo to set up invades on the blue side camps, and Nocturne had to give up. I think that going for enemy blue here is a little bit too far-fetched. I'd rather have Lee Sin base here, buy items, get a pickaxe, and go for Gromp, and then path down. I think it would have been better. Killing this level 1 blue is not the greatest in my mind, and he did spend some tempo here. And Nocturne got to catch up a little bit because he gets his Wolf and Gromp respawn. I think if Rakan matched base here when Kai'Sa based, I think that he would have been full tempo here on, of course, together with the Nocturne, and maybe they could leverage that into Drake. This gang was pretty good setup, but this is kind of the story of the matchup. It's like Victor can beat Ari 1v1, but playing Victor, I think playing Victor is passable against Ari if the enemy jungle is like an AP jungle too. Like you play against, for example, a Maokai Ari, and then you buy Mercs, and you're quite durable, and then you can play like that, you know, play by ear. But when you have Nocturne and him has Lee Sin, Ari Lee Sin should be able to dominate you. He died, good hold from Tinons on the charm, and then they get the push out in, and now they should look to just farm kills on the Victor, but it's just something that didn't happen. Croc has this identity of always spreading himself too thin. I think that here, I think it's crazy to me that Levi doesn't position himself defensively, doesn't spot the bush, but I think ideally what you do here in this type of spot is you pull the red down. You know that the enemy Aatrox is missing, you know that this can happen too. This is just very poorly played from Levi, I'd say. He just doesn't play about anything. Like Levi's early games have been terrible at this tournament, really bad, and they find a good collapse. You know, Loud had 2 good early games today, but in terms of how they converted later, it just wasn't it. And there is no pressure on Kati here playing the Victor. I think that they should have looked for more ways to look to pressure him and kill him. I think the Tinons should just hide in fog, remove this pink and hide in fog of war. So on every neutral wave, you just look to kill the Victor would have been a lot better. Eventually we get to the point where there's a lot of dives happening bots, and I think that GAM recognized that you know, their path to victory is to just int as little as possible on bot and then just scale in the game, which is something that worked. I don't understand this This extension was, of course, very, very bad if you're playing the composition that needs to, snowball the game. Very, very bad sequence. Then there's another sequence here on mid where they are trying to pressure the Keisante, who's super, super strong. I believe Keisante even gets a solo kill on Aatrox. Let me see if I can find it. Let's find this solo kill. It's a cool solo kill. It's a nice one. Here's a solo kill. He slams him through the wall, gets the E over the wall, and then the flash to follow. Well, actually doesn't even flash. He could have flashed if Aatrox flashed, right? Kiaya did its best, did really, really good. I think that Kiaya and Kati definitely with the better performance in considering the counterparts. Levi played in the second game a million times better than Croc, but not because Levi played good, it's because of how poorly Croc played. Let's see this mid play here, finally. I don't know why Croc holds his Q for so long. He allows the homie to go into position. Like he's holding Q for I don't know what reason. He could have just Q'd in the CC and then not get knocked into the turret, and now he gives his lead away, you know. And then the extension here, Root also getting feared, dying. I think the bot lane of Loud got so griefed. And now at this point, your composition really is falling flat. You don't really have any options. The enemy team has just outscaled you, and the fights that they need to take is very, very easy. We go into game 2. Game 2, Rakan, first pick. They pivoted away from Xayah. They didn't feel like they had impact with Xayah, and they feel like they can get away with the lane with Kai'Sa. This is the idea. I think that makes sense. It's like Kai'Sa Rakan is very, very hard scaling, right? And they just went in this direction because the enemy bot lane was barely contesting bot, right? I think that makes sense. I thought the Nocturne ban here on 3, I thought that this signified that, oh, they're going to look to potentially pick Lee Sin. I thought maybe they're going to look for Lee Sin 1-2, but they just went for Xayah. Jarvan gets picked. I think Jarvan was to protect themselves against an Orianna lock-in. I think this was the idea of the Jarvan lock-in, because I think they were considering if we pick Orianna, they go Jarvan and we're not happy. I think this was the idea. I think the Jarvan is supposed to mask the potential mage lock-in from the enemy, but Kati just slammed Syndra. This is his third game of Syndra at the tournament. He seems to like it a lot, even though I don't think he's that great. They ban Nico as something that Tino's played, and then they ban Orianna, just another champion that is really OP, and then Wukong. I like Wukong into Jarvan. I think it's pretty solid. And then considering the theme of this series and how GAM has beaten their 2 past opponents, it's just that they scale better, and Wukong is a champion that still, the Divine Sunderer truth is still a truth that can be told. Olaf gets picked. I hate it because I don't think Robo is the guy who is going to be able to execute these matchups well enough, but it seems to be a comfort pick for him. And then Tarja gets locked in, which, it's fine into Wukong, fine into Rel, but nothing spectacular, it's like it's just a champ. Gnar gets picked into Olaf, which is perfectly fine, right? It's like Olaf needs to hit 2 axes, burn his flash 1v1, and then have space enough to pressure the Gnar, and then the matchup can be good for Olaf. But if you miss your axes and Gnar uses his fleet footwork move speed, and his W move speed, and his form change move speed, and his E well, then this can be like a contested matchup. But now, this was, for me, one of the worst Jarvan performances I've seen of all time. And keep in mind, this comes from a person that has watched thousands and thousands and thousands of pro play games. Thousands and tens of thousands of scrims, thousands and thousands of solo queue games. I'm certain at this point that I have experienced more than 50,000 games. I have not seen a Jarvan game this terrible. Even Razork on Jarvan was better than this. Let's look at the game. Let's look at the game, guys. I will show you how terrible this is. So the early game was good. It's like they made this plan. I think this is why they picked the Olaf with the flash ghost, so you can invade and make sure they know Wukong plan. Once again, Loud, good early game. They managed to snag the red. Wukong is on Raptors. Here I think Croc could maybe save his smite and look to pressure continuously, because he already pushed out Wukong once, right? Wukong crosses And here he loses flash to Wukong. He uses W as he clears, which is really troll. Once again, Levi, all he needs to do is save W, and he needs to pull the red towards him, and then he can play, right? But here he loses flash, he has no red, so Javan is stronger than him in the fight. I think that Croc here can save smite and then look to pressure further, because if he saves smites, he can actually pressure golems, and then Levi is completely out of the game. But instead, he goes into river again. I think this is not necessary. Like, why is Levi allowed to take his own golems? I don't think that should be allowed. He should pressure enemy golems, and then out of enemy golems go into crab, and then that's it, you know? That's it. This setup is also cool, but I don't know why Kati, like here the wave crashed. At this point, the wave is crashed. Right now, he's safe. I don't know why this, I was about to call him a motherfucker. I don't know him. This Syndra player, I don't know why he's walking towards enemy mid turret. The wave is crashed, he's safe, he knows Javan is sniffing his ass, he knows Kaiser is on base, he knows Rakan will go into river, he has all the information in the world, but he just walks forward, and on top of that, he walks forward and uses his E, man. He uses his E, his defensive tool. So Javan can easily just flash on top of him, save EQ, and they get a kill, right? Because with E, he also lives this, you know, he just like ease them off of him, and then like he just flashes, of course, the combo that comes in. But nevertheless, good start here for Loud once again. They get the kill on mid. They are playing and good champions to kill Syndra over and over again. Rakan got a roam timer. They're playing the Kaiser Rakan lane, and they're getting like opportunities, you know, super good for them. Good pivot for the Kaiser Rakan, it seems. They get the first Drake. Cool, cool, cool. And they continue, you know, they continue. Here I didn't like that Croc is ganking bot. It's like, these timings suck ass, I think. Especially because you can contest mid, you're showing on mid. I think that you can also look to clear your camps, clear bottom side crab. I think that there's a lot better things to play for than to look to gank bot, because you've already set yourself up for success around Syndra, and I think it's important to hit the 6 timer and also to keep pressure on mid, because here they can retake mid and Tinons gets pushed off, even though it's the Syndra that doesn't have flash. The EQs over the wall, goes for red, and oh, look at that. Robo gets a flash, and he keeps his flash for Ghost. He should be very happy in the situation. Kiaya tried to crash the wave with no base and no TP back. So this was like good from Robo, good job. No flash Nar, Syndra flash is coming up. Game is looking good. Javan's is about to reach 6. There's no flash on Rel, and Kaiser and Rakan, they're even in a very scaling lane. Things are looking fantastic for Loud. But let's see how Loud can fuck it up. First display here, considering this guy has no flash. In these cases, Talia players, please be patient with your E. The guy is CC'd. Walk, place the E better, hold your W late, and then you can get a kill here. But he places E too fast, and then he W'd in a direction, and Nar hadn't even used his E yet, so tools used for nothing. Root is getting dove, and that is the counterplay, of course, from Gigabyte Marines, and they're losing Herald for it. Rakan already base and opens on bottom side, and Root is channeling his recall, but I think Root can stay here and catch. He just completes it. I think that he can stay here and catch together with Rakan, especially when Zaya's showing under the turret and him having flash and ult. But small detail, because the big detail happens here. Nar has no flash. Nar has no flash. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if... Here Croc, all he needs to do is walk up to the guy, EQ him. If he E's the EQ, you are after him, flash out, dead. The damage of Javan EQ is up front. It's up front. So even if the guy dodges the knockup, you're going to do the damage. You get the turret aggro, you ult out, flash out. Very easy, simple, clean cut. Instead we have this. Okay, you think to yourself, shit happens. Shit happens. 1 for 1, it isn't the worst. Could be a lot better, of course. You could kill him clean, place the Herald, get the full turret. Could have been lovely. Imagine Olaf basing or Ravenous Hydra. Could have been really, really massive. But it gets worse. Loud say, Nar still has no flash and we have Herald. We can keep pressuring him. I saved my ult for this moment. Do you need me to dive top, Tali asks. No. Robo losing a lot of HP for some reason, I'm not sure why. And then now this play starts. First axe misses. First axe misses, second axe completely misses. Robo griefs this pretty fucking hard too. But now they're walking forward and Croc decides, Mother in Christ, for I have sinned. Punish me with 30 lashes. The game is lost. The game is lost. The game is lost. The game is lost. Because Wukong's gonna reach Divine Thunderer. He outscales Javan pretty hard. And everyone is in great condition. Olaf can't lane against Gnar. This is just straight up griefing. Yes. Let's rewind that and check out Kiaya's face. Look at Kiaya's face. They both ran it down. Robo did a bad all-in, and then Croc just... He just took a big shit in the water cooler. And now everyone has to drink it. Terrible. Bro, there was a guy on Twitter that like flamed Root. I couldn't believe my mind, by the way. How could you flame Root, bro? So if you this bot lane from Loud, it's like you got super far ahead in a winning matchup. You stayed even in a losing one. Bro, it's... And then of course he gets solo kill. Like this lane is just done, you know? It's done. What can he do, man? He could have ghosted earlier and then ran away, you know, with our move speed something. He could have for sure lived here, but... It's just done, you know. No Ravenous Hydro on Olaf ever finished. It's just a disaster. I feel bad for Root. I feel bad for CEOs too. Like these two guys are definitely like legit players, I think. Good players. But that's the story of this game. I think it doesn't stop for Javan as well. Like there's some other egregious mistakes. Oh, this one as well. This one was insane, by the way. This one. Oh my lord. Look at this one. So first Croc. I don't know what the fuck he's doing here. Look at Croc. He just wants to flag the enemy. What is this? He just dies dry, right? Okay. Sucks. Boosted. We continue. Look at Robo here, man. Look at Robo. He's done. He wants his game to end quicker. Look what Robo does here. Look at this one. This is really funny. And look at that axe as well from Robo. Oh, terrible. Where is he going? It's just a Drake. Oh my lord. Right, there's another funny one. There's another funny one. Okay. So Gum see Olaf bot. And they have a really, really good window here. They have a really good window, guys, to just pressure Nash. The enemy has no vision on Nash. They place a pink. It's a good play here if they actually just stick it, you know? They stick it. Here Nar decides, yo, I can just TP to this Nash. We can take the mid turret and we could go Nash. Olaf is bot. Olaf is bot right now, no mana. We are 4v5. The enemy can't walk on us. It's done. It's a good play. But they decide, they're like, I don't know who's talking here in comms or who decided this. Because they're like, let's not do this good play that we set up for. Let's not do anything. Let's trap here. Look how uninterested Loud are. Look how uninterested in this Nash they are. They have nothing. Nothing. No interest. They have no clue what's happening, bro. They're on the mid wave, bro. Nothing. And now, for some reason now, in this moment, where Olaf, everyone is in position, now they think it's good to hit Nash. Now it's good to hit Nash. In this moment. My lord. It's terrible, man. Before it was so good. And now this was just shocking. But Croc is the kind of guy that just can't say no to some fried chicken. He can't say no to some motherfucking fried chicken, you know. He sees the chickens. I need to get the chicken. What on earth, man? He's face palming, bro. Look at the camera, man. Disturbing, man. It was disturbing. And now they get Nash. Here, if there's any point of criticism for Root, he should try to win the game here. He should try to win the game in this moment. Like, this is his moment to try to win the game. He should go forward and just throw everything. Maybe not ults him, maybe he dies, whatever, but try to win the game here. If you have a point of criticism for Root, this is the moment, you know? He should just recognize that this is the best chance he's ever gonna get, you know? This is like the best opportunity he's gonna get to try to kill some of these homies in the back, you know? But nevertheless, the game is over. The fun is over. It's done. Kind of funny game. Very funny game. Alright, let's move on to BDS versus CFO. Doesn't he kill 4 if he goes there? Could. Yeah, that's the thing. So once CC lands, he could die, whatever. Like, maybe there's a chance to go wrong, but this is the best chance to ever. Like, this is the best opportunity ever. Alright. So, BDS still look damn shaky. I'm not gonna lie. BDS still look very, very shaky. I think that today was the weakest performance out of Adam. Weakest performance out of Adam that we saw in a single best of 3. I think that definitely it's like it was Adam's weakest performance. I think that I'm happy that BDS found Azir again. I think that's crucial. I didn't like that they actually gave up Jace. I was talking about it in my rundown. I think Jace for Jimmian is his best champion. By far his best champion. He actually showed it too, because he made BDS very, very, very nervous, you know? That Jace was so cringe. That's a very weird way to describe it. Like, he was playing a very, very good game. He was like the best performer on the map, I think. But CFO have other issues. Like, I think their draft is solid, you know, but Kaiser needs to go AP, Maokai needs to go AP, and things are good, you know. It's like, it would have been a fantastic composition. Zaya really doesn't like playing against Jace, Maokai, and all this poke, right? But BDS, with the set, Aatrox, I think draft-wise, I prefer blue side here. I prefer blue. And I think that red is just fine, you know? Red is just fine. I like that CFO decided to drop top into 4-5 and actually just don't ban Darius because they chose to ban the Ivan Rakan to set up for Maokai first pick. I think that's pretty solid. I think if anything though, probably removing Xayah out of Crowny's pool is a more accurate way of targeting them, but I think their priority was that, like here BDS just said, we are gonna trade Xayah Maokai. That was their idea here, that's why they banned Blitzcrank on 3. But I think banning Jace here on 3 is pretty fucking solid too, because Maokai pairs with everything, not only with Jace. Nevertheless, looking at the game, classic control style game of BDS, you know, I think they did a decent job, you know, of setting up the first Drakes, and etc. This was complete psychopath behavior. I don't understand in which world you think with this trio that you can dive a cleanse Xayah that is gonna hit level 2. This was complete annihilation. These Aatrox blind picks will stop working in Swiss. I think they will be fine. I know that you're expecting like it's like Jax should be very hard, Fiora should be very hard, but Fiora is a champion that is hard to win games with in general, and Jax definitely, we will see more Jax into Aatrox. Agreed on that, yes. We continue. This here, what the fuck are they thinking diving this? Here as well, Sejuani on the stacked wave on top, like they could have dove rest and just sealed the deal on the game. Like here, they have a vision on blue. I think that Sejuani can walk in. K'Sante into Aatrox is good too. I didn't mention K'Sante because K'Sante got banned in this game, right? I wanna see some Tam top, never gonna happen, piece of shit champ, useless. Sejuani should just dive this guy. He's trying to spot Maokai, but Maokai, what do you think Maokai did? 3 camps bot into walk all the way around into top turret. I don't think that's gonna happen. They should have dove him, they should have killed him, and Maokai should have been here on Wolves, and he should have been in top side. Like, what Maokai is doing is insanity. Like, looking to dive this bot, I don't know who had this idea. Here, on top of that, Aatrox should let the set finish his TP. Like, why on earth is he cancelling the TP? He's losing CS for it. He could have just let set TP, he would have been bot side, and then he would have been screwed. He would have been very, very screwed. And now this dive is coming in, but Adam starts tanking the turret. Look at Adam. What on earth is that? So, the gameplay here in these elimination matches has been completely like everyone's hard choking. I'm not gonna lie, like this is some gameplay if there ever was any, you know. Here I think that BDS, I was very happy with BDS's bot lane's performance in this particular game. I think that Xayah, like what Labrov and Crowny did in this game to dodge the bot ganks, to dodge everything that happened towards them because Maokai invested so much time, was super good. It's like game winning that they are even, get a kill on Rel even. Maokai spent so much time trying to gank bot. I think that Crowny and Labrov really played well in this game. Up until the point where they didn't. I think that Labrov really marked Chelsea in the early game super hard, and BDS were looking like, wow, oh, BDS is looking like their standard selves. Their standard selves, you know? But then eventually, when the game got a little bit tighter, so it's like, this was a standard BDS game, they get every objective, the scaling, game is looking very free. This was looking like a standard BDS game. I thought, wow, this was super good, you know? They managed to lane well, and then here, yeah, I don't know why this Kalista decided to go lethality when she has Jace mid, and I don't know why this Maokai refuses to fucking buy Demonic Embrace. They have no AP damage, you have Aatrox top, and this guy is going lethality on Kai'Sa. Disastrous. Really disastrous. This guy has completely lost the plot. He lost the plot completely. Now as we continue, it's like they get third Drake and we're thinking to ourselves, I'm thinking to myself, if they beat Jimmy and on Jace, this is gonna be an easy day. Easy day. But let me tell you something. It wasn't easy. They managed to win this big fight. 3 Drakes, game is completely over. Me and Dom, we start talking about random things like shoelaces. We continue forward here. Soul point should be very straightforward. Enemy team doesn't have Nash pressure. You can keep a ward there. BDS can just over posture for this Drake and all is going to be good. And every fight is going to be GG. What are we going to get instead? We're going to get Labrov getting caught. Jimin hitting EQ after EQ, and then Crowny here doing crab. What is this positioning that occurred? What happened here? What happened here? What the fuck happened here? Labrov got caught. Crowny in position doing river in crab seafood. Mental how they lost his position. Like all of the details are in their favor. They are so strong at this point in time. Very strong at this point in time. You know? They just need to take the space with Sejuani and all is good. To be fair, I'm looking here and I think that Shio is fucking griefing when I'm looking at this again. Shio going here is really troll. I don't think this is Labrov's fault. Like Shio should be here taking the space through mid. This is not Labrov's fault. Just to highlight. Now I see this. I don't know why Shio is fucking here. Bro, look how much armor he has. He's unkillable, bro. If anyone fucking face checks here, this Sejuani ult, they combo, they kill him. Like this guy should be dying right now. But these two are contesting through the wrong spot. They should be walking through here. Let Sejuani tank the fucking EQs and all is good. You know? Instead, they want to funnel themselves through this little shithole here. And then Crowny plants over on his own to take crab? I don't know what this idea was from Crowny. I don't know what Crowny had this idea here. But Labrov got caught. Crowny threw his position. Shio threw his position. And then Crowny gets collapsed on. He has to use his R. The Maokai ult, he has to flash it. And then Shao Si spots it. The demon that is Shao Si. He does this without vision. Shao Si is a damn demon for this. I appreciate shit like this. And all of a sudden the game, ooh, BDS. They took a big sniff and they could feel like, ooh shit, we could actually lose this one. And that made it so damn easy for Jimian to just play fucking 8-ball pool. He was just hitting ball after ball. And that's the story of this game. BDS froze up. They lost control of the game. They tried a little Nash, but there's vision on it. They tried to give it a little tease. They got pushed off of it. And then they had the collapse. They're trying to take this path, but Seth is basing, Alistair's basing, and CFO are just collapsing on them, not letting them re-enter mid. Kaiser has ult, of course, to join the fight, but he arrests, I don't know, he wanted to take a nap. He wanted to rest. I don't know why he chases so far. We continue. The EQs were massive from Jimian. Jimian really tried his best. CFO is out here, they lost 2 best of 3s in total, so you're out. And then the rest of the game is basically a story of Jimian hitting EQs over and over again. This also got quite dirty. I think that BDS, with their composition, after they secured the Drake, they should have created a circumstance where they just exit here through top and just give up mid. I don't know why they tried to exit through mid here, because Jace's position becomes so premium. They're trying to exit through here on the saplings. The saplings are rooting them, slowing them, and then they actually manage to get slaughtered here. And somehow you get to this point where Cirilla is bought, AP is bought on Kaiser, even though her itemization, Demonic Embrace is finished. Somehow this big hole of power that CFO had is now accounted for due to BDS's poor play. We have this moment in the game. Nash gets taken, they're very happy with his outcome, they walk away. We have this dance back and forth here. Here already BDS have won, right? Shao Si went too fast. The way CFO need to play, it's like they need to get so much value out of the Jace EQs and the Kaiser poke before they start the fight. Otherwise, in a raw front to back, they should just lose, you know? They should just lose, right? And for some reason here, they extend. BDS could just turn around right now and do Elder. I don't know why they're looking to kill them here. They are just funneling themselves on mountain map through these choke points, right? And then Adam kind of griefs here too. Like Adam is just gliding and emoting. I don't like that, you know. And he dies, making this a very interesting situation where Chelsea is spawning and Rest manages to kill Aatrox. And now CFO on their entry through bottom side. They're trying to enter into this pit here. Gemini has Flash, no Maokai Uldo, and Jimmy is trying to find angles to poke, but the Drake is serving as a cover. Labrov here sets up the Dragon Souls for success, CCs 3 people, and then CCs the Jace 2, and that ensures that Shio can secure it, and there's no fight. Now you think to yourself, Elder Dragon, the game should be finished, right? No. Crowny decides to make the game very interesting. The final engage that... yo, thank you very much, Elisha. Thank you very much for the tier 1. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. The final engage here, Shao Si, Eye of the Tiger. He jumps in, gets the slam on Crowny. Crowny doesn't flash, doesn't use ult, doesn't do anything. And here, all of a sudden, the team with the Elder Dragon for 20 more seconds is getting fucking annihilated. Rest on the back, and they're getting chased. And all of a sudden, you think to yourself, there's a bot wave. Can CFO end? Well, yes, they can. Yes, they can. They could have ended in this moment, ladies and gentlemen. Aatrox has TP, Jace has TP. In a world where Jace and Aatrox TP bot right now on this wave, they would have ended and let Maokai and of course Kaiser just chase after the Azir. But here, the casualties that Nook brought with him to death were way too many. One Dragon's Breath. And then Shun as well from the turret dies. And there's nothing. If Aatrox TP'd bot and they would have just chased Azir slowly, made sure he doesn't base, then it would have been done. It would have been done. And now it got really, really tense. Jace is hitting. He's hitting fast. Has W. But it's not enough. Alistar can knock him off. Alistar can just push him off so he knows he can't end. He cannot end. Imagine if Aatrox was punching this shit with him. We continue. And then the climax of the game. And at this point you have 2 inhibs down. BDS. Very easy for them to finish. Like they can finish by going 4-1 top side. They can go 5-man bot. It's like they got their head out of their ass for a moment. And Chelsea without flash. And Crowny having ult and flash because he saved it from the previous situation. Makes it winning for them. BDS really don't look good this series, I'm not gonna lie to you. They really didn't look good. But to be honest, this play-ins has looked really rough. I think like Team Wales unironically is like Artemis and Glory are just a step above everybody else, I think, in terms of gameplay. Alright, game 2. Probably the biggest outdraft we saw in entire play-ins. The biggest outdraft. CFO ban Orianna, Darius, Olaf, and they set up a case where Renekton is really strong. I don't know what kind of crack they were smoking here. They banned Darius, Olaf to give up Renekton. So they just change up their bans from these bans to completely different bans to Darius, Olaf, which was their 4-5. What the hell is that, man? What the hell is that, man? They were scared of Adam's specials, but in the first game, they had a very good plan. They had a very good plan here. And then just go 4-5 with top and get your Aatrox angle, and that's it, you know? Nevertheless, Rumble is out, Javan, and then Zaya gets banned. Here, you should just first pick Maokai or Renekton. It's like you've banned Adam's Renekton counters, so might as well pick Renekton then, right? if these are your bans. This is like first pick Renekton setup, right? And Maokai is just a champion that wins more than Sejuani, right? So they get Renekton, Maokai 1-2, already really solid. I think Renekton into Aatrox is good for Renekton. Aatrox gets picked, and here they're thinking to themselves, if we pick Jace here, we actually just can't. We can't. Rakan B1 matters less because Zaya's out of the picture. And also, you have answers into Rakan, plain and simple, and Xiaoxi likes to play them. So Kai'Sa gets picked because they can't pick Jace because they're gonna drop and not have AP, and then Ozzy gets locked in. I thought that these bans were inaccurate. I thought they're going to look to ban more Xiaoxi champs. Like if they're picking Kalista here, I think for example banning Alistar is better. I guess they're banning Yone for the Sejuani synergy, but banning Nico is strange to me. Nico is good lane into Azir, I guess that could be a reason. They banned the classic Crowny champs, and Crowny shows his Kalista for the first time in as long as I remember. I don't know if we've ever seen Crowny Kalista, and Kalista of course is a wonderful pick here. Very, very strong pick here. Enemy team picks one of the worst mid laners you can pick into this composition. You can't play Sylas into Kalista Renekton, I tell you that much. I think here you pick, either you play Talia, because Talia is decent into Azir, I think, fine with Seju, and really good into Kalista, and you play on range, right? And additionally, you know, you can play Jace, you know, just stick you with Jace because it worked so well the previous game. Alistar is a good go-to pick because it's the best support into Kalista, and synergy with Kai'Sa is fine. But I didn't like the Sylas here. It's like you commit so heavily into melee against a team that is designed to beat melee, and then the cherry on top of this gorgeous cake that BD has built is just static, you know? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Obviously here, all of these champions on BDS side is very, very good against the enemy team committing to us. Why is Taric value here so high? Because blue side can only play one way, and that is forward. They need to all in with Alistar, they need to all in with Sylas, they need to all in with Aatrox. And then the moment Taric ults, is just done. Why is Alistar so good into Kalista? Because you can't dash out of his combo. It is on hit, there's nothing to dodge. In auto attack range, Alistar is in combo range. Alistar is very good into Kalista due to this reason. He has hard CC that doesn't require aiming, you know? Someone asked why Ezreal. The thing is, it's like people are complaining about Ezreal, but they're just banning the champions that Crown is known to play, which is perfectly fine. And then banning supports for them just hurts them on blue side. Same with Nautilus though. Yeah, the hook is not a skill shot, right? Same for Nautilus. Good job. Let's take a look at this game. The only CFO, I mean, you are first. Yeah, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when you lane against Kalista, you are first. Good job, man. We continue. In this game, right, blue side needs some crazy chaos. Thank you very much, the Emperor of Twitch. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So as highlighted, this was the biggest outdraft that we saw the entire tournament. The entire tournament, the biggest outdraft by far. Blue side is weaker early. They are weaker late game. They fight worse. It's terrible, right? Terrible across the board. BDS, the only way they lose is by showing sporadic outcomes. Really sporadic. Really sporadic. Yo, the Houdini, thank you very much. I'm happy that that worked out for you. So here they're going for a late ward and they get fucked by it. Very good play here by CFO to have this read. And then Crowny should have just died. He should have just died. He used his flash, he used his cleanse. Will be late to the wave, dies as well. And also fucks his own jungler. Here Maokai is like walking and is going to start enemy wolves to try to keep himself in the game. But all of a sudden there's so much chaos in this game. Here as well, Maokai is spotted on blue. I think here bot lane should say we are diving these motherfuckers bot no matter what. We're diving them. We are diving them. We're gonna crash this third wave because the enemy is gonna lose melee XP. They're not gonna get level 2 on Crowny and we're gonna fuck them up. I don't know why CFO pussied out. So this is the wave that's coming, right? This is the wave. And then Sejuani just pieces the fuck out. Maokai is not on time. Look how scared this Maokai is of this happening, bro. He fucking leaves his Raptor at 200 HP. I don't know if he fucked up. Could be that they have PTSD from the previous match, yes. But there's no sums on Kalista. Like, she gets comboed by Alistar into spell of Seju and she dies. And then maybe worst case Alistar dies because he has no flash. But you win the game there on the spot because Kalista will be 3 CS. You know? And then Kaiser bases with 2-0, like, is complete annihilation. So yeah, Maokai, look, he's level 2 at minute 3. He didn't finish his Raptors and he went all the way into bottom side. For no reason, right? No reason. And now Maokai is crossing into top side to finish his wolf camp. This Maokai is in the dumpster. And somehow this is just a... Why were they contesting there though? They were trying to just place a ward on enemy Raptors to know Sejuani clear. But CFO just stayed long enough. In this game as well, Adam was getting turbo outlaned. I don't know what the fuck was happening top, but he was getting smoked by Rest. That gets to the point where he even gets a solo kill in the Aatrox vs Renekton matchup, which shouldn't be a thing at all. It's like here, Rest just recognizes, yo, I'm gonna get my spells up. He has no E. I will have my flash and my Q. He goes for it. Boom. The W lands. The Q lands. And the Rest just gets a solo bolo. I think this was the weakest series we've seen from Adam. By far. Weakest series. We had some back and forth, but eventually the truth of the game needed to be spelled out. I think the fact that they survived this bottom play was crucial. Like here in this moment, this I think could have been a game changer. Like they really they could have changed the whole game if they actually got this kill in, because the fact that Crowny, like Gemini misses the Q, which is crucial, and it's like Crowny actually gets to get away here, and then the ult of Kaiser is not placed well. Like if it's placed more on the side here and he held it a little bit longer, could have been better. If Crowny dies here, oof, that is fucking terrible for the game. Very bad. But somehow he survives, gets away. Sejuani ults, like everything is being used here. Flashes are blown, ults are blown, flash, everything is blown. And he survives, which was crucial. Like his death here could have been a disaster. It was strange for BDS to keep taking fights on River, especially when Silas was taking Maokai ult, but eventually they had to face the music. I don't know if Adam bought the wrong items accidentally. The issue there is I think if he hits the Q, then none of the XP things matter for Gemini. They will have to face the music of the fucking of the draft. Rest being in such good conditions matters a lot. Silas being even in this matchup also matters a lot. You know, this is a Silas that roamed bot and he's still like even-ish on CS. You know, he roamed bot on 2 occasions. Yeah, it seems like Crowny just pivoted to Ginzu's because he just wouldn't benefit from the items of Blade. But I feel like Blade is such a must-buy still. Probably you get it third because he went Hurricane second because the enemy being a lot of melees. This wasn't that great, you know, for BDS. They use double TP to kill Jimmy and they have no bot wave, and Aatrox is going to secure top turret for this. And also they get Herald, so this is definitely a trade that favors CFO. But still, the draft is so much weaker when it comes to the front to back that it's like this is a good example of how broken the draft is, you know? This is just, it's like BDS, they could just huddle together like this and there's just too many layers to this onion, you know? It's like, how do you enter the sphere of influence with Silas or Aatrox here against these champs, you know? The Rend combo, it seemed like they agreed on a damage set and Sheo just didn't smite because the Rend happened and then the smite happened from Sejuani instead. And it's like, look at this, they get combos and the Taric ult is just too powerful and they're just bulking up together and Crowny is just hitting and there's no way to actually break his sphere of influence, you know? Nothing. It's like Sheo can just stay in that fight and play with the Taric ult, but you know, this is the level that we're dealing with. And Now the biggest draft gap is visible here, you know, when BDS just start hitting Nash. You know, they have midway push, they have spears. They know any fight that they take is going to be winning. And how does Silas ever enter here? Renekton is just marking him, walking on him. Silas cannot play against Renek. And then it's like the rest of the homies also try to enter, but it's just not possible. And then the Rent, Q, Smite, Maokai is just... GG. I think, you know, to summarize what BDS showed us today. So I thought that CFO, based on what they've shown, they looked better than BDS. And today was very dirty. Very, very dirty. I think that PSG versus BDS, just to talk about the matchup. What did BDS show us today? I think they showed that their bot lane is very, very capable. Right? Their bot lane is very, very capable. I think that the first 15 minutes of the game from Labrov and Crowny, barring the Kalista start, was much better. It's hard to judge the bottom lane phase because the Kalista died level 1, right? I think that the BDS bot lane looked a lot better today than they did all tournament long. Of course, Crowny got caught and did dumbass shit later on in the game. But you need to participate in the game, you know, and I think that BDS's bot lane really did that, and I think that's going to be crucial for tomorrow. I think that's really big. I really like that Nuke played 2 games of Azir today. I think they've recognized what this Plains is about, and I think that Azir is a champion that is underplayed. I think seeing Azir is a very good look for Nuke, and I think that's a very big positive. I think that today BDS won without Adam performing. Today was the worst performance from Adam, and I think that's going to be better tomorrow. Azzy is a player that plays really good champions into what BDS Adam likes to play. I think that PSG's top laner is probably the second best performing top laner of the tournament in my mind, Azzy. Really good cannon, plays the Rumble. I think that he can definitely pick some champions against Adam that can, you know, destabilize his input and impact on the game. I think the key thing here for PSG is that I think Junjia has performed way better than Shio. And I think Junjia is mechanically super good. And he has really, really good mechanical depth. And I think that Maple is the right player to pair together with Junjia. Maple has a very strong Jace, and then his Nico is super, super good. And I think that's where PSG can maybe take over early game. I worry about BDS's early game. But I do think that PSG's bot lane has been rather unstable. So I think this is the point of entry for BDS. But right now, with the level of play-ins, honestly, it's so tough to predict anything. It's like even today, even though it was 2-0 for BDS, that CFO game, like it feels like teams are losing rather than teams are winning. You get me? That's a circumstance currently. And I think PSG should be favorite, but that could mean nothing tomorrow. Because I still think BDS have a higher ceiling, you know? It's just that the reasons why games are won are very, very random. Besides, you know, arguably this one, the fact that BDS held their Kalista in their pocket for so long, right? CFO did nothing wrong in banning Ezreal Sivir. They are banning the champs that Crowny has showcased that he wants to play, and they bust out the Kalista, right? That is like super good. This is like a honest big win here for BDS. But in terms of the gameplay in the game, like they were on their back foot, and this game as well, BDS might as well have lost, you know? Yeah. Team Wales versus Gam. I honestly think Team Wales might be... I think Glory and Artemis are the best players in all of play-ins by far. I think there's no conversation about that. I think that they have been the most consistent, most strong. I think that Team Wales, even though they lost the finals against Gam the last time, I think that Team Wales is a much better team. Gam has gotten to this point praying that South America just eventually runs it down. And that prayer has been answered by every god possible. GAM outscaled here even though they played shit early. GAM outscaled here even though they played shit early. GAM won here even though they played shit early. GAM won here, except they once again had a shit early game. They have had one good early game, and that was a game they lost against Loud. There's only one god, bro. It's not that deep, the statement that I was making. There's only one god. As far as I understand, Gigabyte, like, basically Team Wales didn't have their support when they played. Apparently he was sick, something like this. But I do believe that Team Wales is gonna smoke him. I think Team Wales is better here. I think PSG is slightly favored. But BDS, it depends on what they show up as on the day. And that is the rundown. That is the rundown, ladies and gentlemen.